In 1998, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were Major League Baseball players who were both chasing the home run title. During that 1998 season, baseball ratings skyrocketed. When the two teams played each other, they set a ratings record on TV that wouldn't be broken for almost 15 years. After the season, however, they both tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, or PEDs. Both McGwire and Sosa escalated the game of baseball and are prime examples as to why PEDs should be allowed in sports. The advantages of PEDs far outweigh the disadvantages. PEDs up the level of competition by making players better. They help and aid players who have had serious injuries and they help recovery, and there's also a lack of evidence against them. So how PEDs up the level of play? Obviously, when you think of athletes who have tested positive for steroids, the first one that comes to mind is Lance Armstrong. Now, Lance Armstrong's Tour de France dynasty is absolutely amazing, and many people looked up to him, but because of the negative connotation on PEDs when he was tested positive, all of this was stripped from him. Now, if everyone was using PEDs, I'm not saying Armstrong would have won, but that level of competition would have been there. And you can see from Lance Armstrong that it makes athletes better and it makes good athletes. His dynasty is uncanny and you can't argue with it. And another thing comes to mind, the 1998 Olympic race, one of the most anticipated 100-meter dashes of all time. Ben Johnson took first. Now the thing is, after the race, Ben Johnson tested positive for steroids, as well as 5 other competitors in that race. So 6 out of the 8 finalists in that race tested positive for PEDs. And it was also one of the highest rated races and one of the most watched races ever. So if you think about that, PEDs up the level of play and they make people want to watch them more. And these PEDs also can help injured players. White, Baltgavis, Sato, Wilson, and Carson documented in their Journal of Applied Physiology in 2009 that anabolic steroids can actually help recovery after surgery. When your body goes through surgery, there are a lot of things that were produced that now aren't getting produced as well because of the surgery, and if you take anabolic steroids, it can actually help you heal faster and help with your bone development. Also, Dr. Christopher Mendius said in 2013 that HGH, the human growth hormone, repairs tendons naturally. So this is something that your body would naturally produce to help repair your tendons, except in this case you're getting more of it, so that repairedness is actually increased and can happen faster. So overall, it helps athletes heal. Now you hear about how bad tearing an ACL is, or tearing your Achilles, or stuff like that. But if you can take these medicines to help heal you, then you can be back in the game in no time, and serious injuries suddenly become a lot less serious on the playing field. And also, there's a lack of negative evidence against PEDs. They have a very negative connotation, but in 2006, Hoffman and Radames said in their Journal of Sports Science and Medicine that the medical issues that people say happen with steroids are actually severely exaggerated. They ran a test and they found a lot of gains in people who used it, 4% more body mass than people who took the placebo, and also medical issues didn't really come up. So the things you hear about steroids are usually just severe cases, but are not common. So overall, steroids help aid athletes' performances. They help in recovery, and studies show that negative effects really aren't there. So if you want to see another good McGwire-Sosa race, or a great Lance Armstrong dynasty, or anything that ups athletes, then maybe we should make steroids legal in sports.